afternoon and welcome to the Dingley Press webinar 2014 USPS Postal Promotions. I'm Jennifer Walker, Sales and Marketing Specialist for the Dingley Press, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. Today, Rob Nowak, Director of New Technology at the Dingley Press, is here to show us how to take advantage of this year's postal incentives. He will go through each postal promotion to help us better understand what we must do in order to participate in the programs and save money on postage. These postal promotions are an excellent way to test some of the newest technologies and how your customers will choose to embrace them. So not only does it save you money, but it helps you learn more about your consumers as well. Before we begin, I'd like to cover a few housekeeping items with you. Today's webinar is being recorded. To ensure optimal audio quality for our session, all attendees have been muted. We encourage you to post your questions or comments by using the questions box on your webinar control panel, which should be on the right side of your screen. The webinar slides, a recording of the presentation itself, and a copy of the questions asked with responses will be sent to you by the end of the week. The presentation will last approximately 45 minutes, and we'll leave the last few minutes for questions. That concludes our housekeeping, so I'll turn it over to Rob.
Thank you, Jen. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll get started here. So thanks, everyone, for joining us today for the 2014 USPS Postal Promotions. My name is Rob Nowak. I'm the Director of New Technology for Dingley Press, and we'll get started. So the agenda today is just a few bullet points here. One is why the USPS continues these promotions, why you might want to participate in them, a little bit about the promotional calendar, what it looks like when these promotions take place, details on each promotion, some examples, steps for success, and then Q&A at the end. So it should last about 45 minutes, and we'll have about 15 minutes at the end to answer questions. And like Jen said, you can put your questions in the question box, and then we'll make sure we answer them. If for some reason we don't get to your question, we will have documented all the questions that were asked and provide answers to those separately to everybody. So let's get started. So one of the reasons the USPS is offering these incentive programs is probably not unknown to most of you folks. They're in a pretty dire financial position. And because of this, they've decided that it would be wise on their part to have promotions that incentivize you folks to do as much mailing as you did last year or even more mailing. As you can see in some of these statistics that we provided here, mail volume has declined 25% from the period of 2007 to 2012. So the post office is losing a substantial amount of revenue. In addition, their revenue is down about $10 billion over that same period, and over the same period, $41 billion in net losses. So this has really become a big problem, and as you're aware, they're trying to do things to fix it. They even reached their $15 billion statutory debt limit, which is the maximum amount they're allowed to go in debt in a single year. So why should you participate? Well, number one is to save money on postage, and even though postage rates have increased pretty dramatically the last few years, this really does allow you to save some money, typically about 2%. Most of these promotions will save you on your mailing. And it gives you an opportunity to test technology, and really at the expense of the post office. A good example here is we've had customers who saved as much as $20,000 in postal savings with some of these promotions in previous years. That's enough money to actually retool or rebuild a website so that it's mobile optimized. And of course, it will also show your customers that you're technology savvy. So this is always a good thing, especially nowadays where customers are expecting that from you. And before we get too far into this, I thought it might be a good idea to identify what a mobile optimized website is. And one of the reasons I want to do this is because many of these promotions require that you have a mobile optimized website in order to qualify, part of the requirements document. So this graphic here is kind of nice where it describes some of the features that are part of a mobile optimized website. So typically just 1 or 2 clicks gets you the more information that you want, or it's designed to fit into a small screen on a tablet or mobile device. Has the option to go to a full non-mobile site. Now this one scares me a bit because the postage requirements documents for many of these promotions says that all links on your mobile optimized site must be mobile optimized, meaning it can't take you to a traditional desktop type site where you don't have the nice features of a mobile optimized site. So I would steer a little bit away from this particular option. Typically, the search bar is front and center. So when you go to a mobile optimized site, one of the things that you'll see right away is a big, large search bar so you can find what you're looking for. Again, these are consumers on the go. You want to be able to find things quick and easy. It also looks clean and efficient. So you're not seeing small text that's hard to read. You don't have to pinch zoom in and out in order to navigate your way around the page. These are typical characteristics of a mobile optimized site. And of course, it's big finger friendly, so it's easy to tap on the various buttons and whatnot. Also, click to call is a typical feature on a mobile optimized site. So you might see a phone icon or something, or a phone number that you can actually click on and automatically dials that number. The ability to save information for later. So some sites will allow you to save a PDF version of like the catalog, for example. Or the ability to scroll in a single direction. So typically it's up and down or it's left to right, but typically not both left to right and up and down. So I think this might give you a general idea of what a mobile optimized site looks like, and we have some slides where we can show kind of a side-by-side comparison of what those look like. So for example, on this slide here, the phone on the right side is a mobile optimized website, and on the left side is a traditional desktop website. So one might say on the left, well, I can still do everything I need to do. The problem is you would need a hand about the size of the one on the left. And unfortunately, most of our hands aren't that small, and it's very, very difficult to navigate. You'd have to pinch zoom. So it's not very friendly. The one on the right-hand side is more user-friendly and easier to use for folks. If you did have a mobile phone that was going to a traditional site, you might need a phone about this big in order to navigate it. So obviously, we certainly don't want to have you carry something like that around in your pocket. So getting on to what the promotional calendar looks like for 2014, this is an example of each of the promotions, and you'll see that 2 of the promotions I actually have an X through because they don't pertain to catalogers, and that's the color print in first-class mail and the premium advertising promotion. So we're going to ignore those 2 today and focus on the other ones. So you can see this earned value promotion, as well as the mail and digital personalized promotion, the branded color mobile technology promotion, emerging technology featuring NFC, and then Mail Drive's mobile commerce promotion. And for each of these, you can see their period in which they take place. So for example, the one going on right now from February to March is the branded color technology promotion. And as you can see, in advance, you can register for these promotions. Typically, all the way through the entire promotional period, you can register. So even if you're mailing as late as the middle of March, you could register just days before. You don't have to register prior to the entire promotion starting. And what we'll do next is we'll actually go through each of these in greater detail so that you can see details about each promotion. So starting with the branded color technology promotion, this is the one going on now. It goes from February to March. It encourages people to move beyond a basic QR code. So the traditional QR code that most of us are used to seeing is black and white. And what this promotion is saying is, listen, we want to go beyond that, something more creative, so we want a branded QR code. And it needs to be at least 2 colors. It can be more colors than 2. You can't use black, white, or gray. Or it can have a trademark or graphic in the center of the QR code. So in that case, you might have your logo. Let's say your logo is colored orange, and the QR code might be green. So these are kind of a standard type of branded QR code you might do. Here's some examples of a branded QR code. So the top set of examples are what would be acceptable. The bottom set are unacceptable, and I'll kind of try to explain why. So in order to be acceptable, it needs to be at least 2 colors. So if you look at the first one on the bottom row, it's just a black and white QR code. That does not qualify. Even if you colorize that with a single color, it still doesn't qualify. So the purple one on the bottom would not. The reason for the third one not qualifying, even though it looks like it has some type of logo in the center of it, again, it's just a 1-color QR code. And same with the one next to it. Now, someone actually got creative here, and where you can see the baby crawling with the diaper, there's a little QR code on the diaper there. That does not qualify because the graphic, it really isn't part of the QR code. So the top examples would be better examples of what type of QR code would qualify. What we're seeing most folks do is they're actually doing some type of QR code and then putting their logo in the center of it. But again, you don't have to have your logo in it, just like the second one. It just is using multiple colors. So that gives you a general idea of what a branded QR code might look like. Next is the steps to success for this particular promotion. So I just wanted to quickly review what those steps would look like. First of all, you must have a mobile optimized website. We've already talked a little bit about what a mobile optimized site looks like. Next, to create a QR code that's a branded QR code, I would recommend going to Google and typing in something like branded QR code generator. And this will show you a whole host of different QR code websites that can generate you a QR code. One piece of advice is don't ever use a QR code shortener and then generate your QR code. That has to do with patent infringements and whatnot. I always recommend have your QR code to go directly to your mobile optimized site. Don't shorten the URL. Next, place the QR code on any page in your catalog. So it doesn't matter if it's on the front cover, back cover, or any page in between. And then link the QR code, of course, back to your mobile optimized website. And another requirement the post office asks for is that you put directional copy next to your QR code. This is copy that kind of describes why someone might be interested in scanning your code. And then lastly, register for the program. So the USPS requires for every one of these promotions a separate registration. If you need any help with that registration, certainly Dingley can help you do that. We do most of the registration for our customers, but you certainly can do it on your own as well at the Postal Gateway. This is an example of a directional copy used for a QR code. It's a bit wordy, probably not what I would recommend, but you can kind of see what they're trying to do here. So they're educating their customers on why they might want to scan the QR code. In this case, snap the QR code with your mobile device and visit the summer store. Don't forget to sign up for special promotion emails. And then the right-hand side talks a little bit about having a QR code reader on your device and where to get one. For most of these promotions, the USPS isn't super strict about what the directional copy looks like. So it could be something as simple as scan to shop. It could be 3 words. Or you can elaborate more. Depends on really what you want to do there. The next promotion runs from April to June, and it's called the Earned Value Reply Promotion. This promotion encourages folks who do business reply cards and courtesy reply mail to qualify. And we find that a very small percentage of our customers are actually using these. But if you are, it's pretty easy to qualify for this promotion. So if you're not doing it, I don't necessarily recommend that you start doing this because your savings wouldn't pay for the effort that it would cost to add these into your catalog. But essentially the way this works is you mail 1 million catalogs and 10,000 of these are returned. For every one returned is when you get postal savings, and it's 2 cents per returned card. So there's some nice savings there, but it doesn't necessarily apply to a lot of people. This actually ran in 2013 as well. I think we had 12 or 13 customers who had BRMs in their catalog, and it saved them a little bit of money. Some examples, obviously, of what a business reply mail or courtesy reply mail card looks like are on the screen right now. And then steps for success, pretty simple. You must have the BRC or CRC. Return cards only get counted at 2 cents, like I've already said. And again, you must register for the program. So pretty simple one here. Again, it doesn't apply to everybody, but I want to make sure we at least mentioned it to folks. Next is the mail and digital personalization promo. And this is one where folks are required to have pearls. So that's where your website has variable data like someone's name and as well as the printed piece. So you have to coordinate the effort between your printed product to have variable print on your printed product and either a QR code or augmented reality or even just a simple URL on that printed piece that can take someone to a mobile optimized landing page. And this is a little bit unique because in most of the postal promotions, USPS is requiring a fully functional mobile optimized website. However, in the requirement document for this particular promotion, they state that it must be a landing page, a mobile optimized landing page. So that leads me to believe that they're not asking for folks to have a fully functional website, but the landing page must be personalized to that particular user. And of course, you must have the ability to track and monitor individual mail recipient responses in their web activity. So one that I think less of our customers will be interested in trying out, but certainly personalization is always a good thing and something to consider. This is an example of some catalogs that have personalized variable print on them. So you can see every one of these catalogs has a different offer and a different recipient. So if you start in the bottom left, you can see there's like a Spencer Sheldon getting 10% off, and there would need to be a custom URL at the bottom of that someone could go to, then taking them to a mobile optimized landing page and saying, hey, Spencer, check out these products that we think you might be interested in. You can see, again, in the center of the screen at the bottom, there's a Jody getting $15 off on a different promotion. Again, they mention a code, 90099. In that case, in replacing that code, you would want a URL that takes them to that personalized page. So these are just some examples of ways that you could qualify and what you would need to have on your printed piece. Again, there's two components. It's the printed piece being variable and having personalized information on it, and then corresponding to that, the website, the Pearl, would need to also be branded the same way. For success here, again, you have to have a mobile optimized landing page. As I said, they don't necessarily require a fully functional site. And there's many different ways you could do the Pearl. You could have a QR code next to that person's name that could be scanned. If you use a QR code, you should have directional copy next to it stating why they should scan the code. And another option would be you could use augmented reality or even just a simple personalized URL address. So it might say something like www.abccompany.com/rnowak or jsmith. And when someone types that URL address in, they see a personalized web page that they go to. Again, don't forget directional copy. If you do use something like a QR code, it's not really necessary if you're using a URL because it's kind of explanatory, but certainly it's always a good idea to have directional copy if you can. And then again, register for the program. Every one of these programs has a different set of registration that needs to take place. You can't just register one time and expect that you'll be in all promotions. The next promotion I'd like to talk a little bit about is emerging technology, featuring NFC promotion. So last year, the USPS had emerging technology promotion, and most of the folks who we worked with used augmented reality in order to qualify for this promotion. This year, they're promoting a little bit heavier on NFC side, near field communications, what that stands for. I don't think all the requirements for this particular one are complete yet, but the way we understand it is they are considering doing augmented reality. So if that is something that you've done before or you're interested in doing, we certainly can help you out there. But another pretty simple one to qualify for. Basically, the way the augmented reality works, and that's really the way we would suggest you going about trying to qualify for this, is we upload a final PDF file to Dingley of your catalog of that particular page that you want to do. We scan that page. Image recognition is used to uniquely identify that page. So essentially what happens is when we scan it into our system, it plots a couple hundred points on the page and identifies that page as a unique page. We add it to the database, and then every time someone uses a augmented reality program on their phone to scan that particular page, they get to view a unique offering or a unique video or whatever it is that you decide you want to promote. So essentially start with a page, scan it, add it to the database, and then everybody gets the opportunity to see that page kind of come to life, so to speak. We've got a few examples of those here I'd like to share. Here's one where the original page, you can kind of see what it looks like, and then when the phone is taken out and the page is scanned, pops up a call now button. So they touch that button on their phone and it dials that company directly. So it's just one way augmented reality can be used. Here's another one, the original page. As a matter of fact, you can see in the bottom right corner a kind of a black box with kind of a three-step how-to. And essentially what it is saying is pull out your phone, scan this page, and then watch the page come to life. And when done with this page, you can actually see a video pop up. You can tap the play button on the video and watch a short video on this particular product that they're trying to promote. Another example here is someone who's doing more than one thing with their page. So the original page basically has a YouTube video and also an image carousel. So you can watch a video on this particular product, but in addition, you can kind of scan through by side-swiping the image carousel and look at different views of different products. So another nice way to kind of add additional content to your page that you don't necessarily have room for on your printed page. Another augmented reality example here is, again, you can see at the bottom of the page, they're kind of given instructions, directional copy, and how-to. And when this page is scanned, you see two videos at the top of the screen and a Facebook icon and a click-to-call button. So that user can interact with any one of these four components and either call directly or go to their Facebook page and like them or watch one of these two videos. So there's a lot you can do with augmented reality. It's kind of limited only by your imagination. And then this one here actually has the most features on it. Again, you can see the original page what it looks like, and when that page is scanned, it's totally transformed into a whole other page. And there's about 5 different things you can do. You can call them directly. You can visit their website through this page by clicking on their logo. You can follow them on Twitter, watch a YouTube video, or like them on Facebook. So there's a lot of different potential with augmented reality here. So steps for success is you must have a mobile optimized website for this promotion. It must use image technology such as augmented reality or NFC. Again, they have not committed to augmented reality on this one, but we think that they're going to add that into the requirements document once that is released. So we'll keep an eye on that and certainly keep folks abreast of that as we do blog posts and whatnot on these topics. And this also can be on any page in your catalog. So it doesn't have to be the front cover or back cover, but the key is to make sure you have directional copy next to or on the page so that folks know that there's augmented reality. Without that directional copy, you wouldn't know there's content out there for that page. So it's very important to educate your users on this before you just kind of put it into your catalog. And then again, register for the program. Next promotion is Mail Drives Mobile Commerce. This is kind of an ongoing promotion that's been going on for several years now. So 2011, 12, and 13, the Post Office had an incentive program that has gone by various names throughout the years, but this essentially is that same program where it utilizes a QR code. And I think they're going to allow other things like augmented reality, NFC, other types of mobile technology to participate in this one. But this is the one that most likely most of you folks have done in the past, or at least considered doing in the past, and is relatively simple. Essentially, it's placing a QR code on a page. It doesn't have to be a branded QR code. It can be just kind of a regular one. And then here's an example where someone actually placed 2 QR codes on a page. One of them actually leads to a video, and then another one leads to their mobile optimized page where consumers can shop. Again, it is a requirement in this promotion to have a mobile optimized website. So if you don't have one already, you might want to consider building one, or ask someone like your current internet service provider if they can actually build one out for you, or even your printer. We've built some mobile optimized microsites just so that folks can qualify for some of these promotions, and they're pretty affordable and really easy to put together. Typically, those sites only promote a handful of products. Again, the purpose is to promote a few products, test out a technology, and qualify for the postal discount. Steps for success on this are, again, have the mobile optimized website, generate a QR code. Again, I would make the point that don't use URL shorteners when you generate a QR code. Always have it go directly to your website. If you have additional questions on that, feel free to contact me later and I can talk to you more about that. And then the QR code can be on any page in the catalog, and it should link back to your website. And don't forget to add the directional copy, and once again, register for the program. So some postal updates on these promotions that I just spoke about. Those are the 5 that really apply to catalogers. And today I found some interesting information about some of these. For example, the earned value, the requirements documents already exist on the postal bulletin board system. So if you'd like to review those requirements in greater detail than what we went over today, you certainly can Google search RIBS and then just type in Earned Value Promotion 2014, and you'll be taken to a PDF of the requirements document. It's a pretty simple document. about 15 pages long, I think, and there's really only 1 or 2 pages that are important to read, and that have to do with the specific requirements for the promotion. Or you can send an email to the address that we have listed here. The mail and digital personalization promotion, the requirements are also already posted, so you can read what those requirements are. Registration begins on March 15th. The emerging technology promotion, note that the requirements document is not finalized yet. So even though we've talked about what we think it's going to take to qualify, we're still waiting for that final requirements document to be posted by the USPS. Certainly NFC is going to be one way to qualify using near-field communication. But not all phones are equipped with that, and we think that's pretty limiting. I'll be surprised if they don't allow things like augmented reality, where you can download an app to your phone and be able to participate in a promotion like this. So as these requirements are defined and sent out, we'll certainly make sure we share those with everybody. And then next, the Mail Drives Mobile Commerce promotion. This is the one that has been repeated for several years now. They have not finalized the requirements document for this one yet either, so we're waiting for that. This is the one that doesn't take place until November, December, toward the end of this year. So I'm sure in the coming months we'll see these requirements and update you folks on what we've learned. They are talking about enhanced mobile purchasing, but they haven't really defined exactly what that is, so more to come on that. So some of the key points that I wanted to summarize is I think that technology and mail working together can be a great benefit for not only you, but for your customers. We don't want to be afraid of technology. We want to use it and experiment with it and see what our end users like about it and don't like about it. We're going to be able to try to track those results and see if a particular promotion is working. If not, tweak it, change it, try it again, kind of like the A/B testing that you do with your catalog. And since the USPS is providing an incentive, I think we should take advantage of that incentive and use it to our benefit so that we can test out some of these new technologies. You may find that a QR code is doing nothing for your business, and that augmented reality actually gives an uptick in your business. So play around with these different ones, especially since someone's kind of footing the bill a bit here, and it doesn't hardly cost anything to apply for or to participate in these promotions. And of course, as I've said several times throughout, don't forget to register for these. Certainly, Dingley can help you out. We'll register you. We'll make sure all the proper paperwork gets done. Just contact your customer service rep. We do this more as a value-added service. We just want to make sure that if there's an opportunity for savings, that you can be part of that. And that's why we try to come up with solutions for each of these, so that if you're interested in these, contact your sales rep, your customer service rep, and they can help you kind of go in the direction you want for which promotion. The requirements definition for many of these are still changing. Like I said, I think there's a couple of them are already set in stone, but a few of them they're still working on. And then lastly, make it interesting. Make it something that your consumers are want to try out. So make sure there's some benefit for them in either scanning that QR code or returning that BRC or whatever the promotion is. Make sure you're incentivizing them to a degree in which they'd be interested in participating. So with that said, I do want to supply you with some contact information for the post office. So if you have any questions on these, you can always contact us. But if you want to work directly with the post office, you can email them at mobilebarcode@usps.gov or fax them. And of course, you can always contact me. So with that said, I think, Jen, there might be some questions that we got throughout the presentation. Do you want to kind of go through those and I can try to answer them?
Yes, absolutely. We did receive some questions. and the first question is, would a click-to-call qualify using AR for this program?
Yes, click-to-call does qualify. We believe it's going to qualify for the emerging technology promotion. So in addition to having click-to-call, you'd want to have a fully mobile optimized site, though, because I think they're going to require, when the final documents are released, the requirement documents, that someone can actually make a purchase, and that that purchase is done through a fully functional mobile optimized site. So last year, they did have a specific promotion called click-to-call, and all it had to do is dial a phone number. That promotion doesn't exist this year. So I think you can have a click-to-call like a QR code that automatically dials the number, but I don't know that that's going to get you where you need to be to qualify for any of these. Instead, you might want to do augmented reality, where click-to-call is one of the pieces of functionality, but the other would be to drive people to your website so they can actually make a purchase of something. So at least that's the way we understand the requirement as they've summarized it right now, even though for the emerging technology promotion, it isn't set in stone yet.
Excellent. The next question was, how do I know in advance if I'm going to qualify for a promotion?
Good question. So what we do is we will take your QR code for your page that you're trying to qualify for the promotion. We'll send it to the USPS for you, and we'll get pre-approval. So they test it, they take a look at it, and they say, hey, there's no directional copy next to it, or the QR code doesn't go to a fully functional mobile optimized website. They'll give us a reason why it doesn't qualify if it doesn't, or they'll just send us a note back saying, hey, this qualifies, you should be good to go for your promotion, make sure you're registered.
Great. Next question is the emerging technology program a 2% postal discount?
Yes. So the emerging technology is 2%. The mail and digital personalization is 2%. All of them are 2% upfront discount except for the reply card one. That one is 2 cents for every card returned. So that one's a little bit different than the others.
Excellent. Next question, what's the difference between a mobile optimized website and mobile optimized landing page?
Well, a mobile optimized landing page can look just like a mobile optimized page on a website, but when you click through on a mobile optimized landing page, it's going to take you to a traditional page on the website. So all of a sudden you'll have to pinch zoom to read the copy. It won't be user-friendly to people with big fingers. So I guess the difference is one, all the pages within the site are fully mobile optimized, and on the other, only the landing page is mobile optimized. But once you leave the landing page, all the other pages are more like a traditional website, where it's a little bit more challenging to navigate on a mobile device.
Excellent. Next question, if I had more than one brand catalog, can I use the same mobile optimized website for both?
Yeah, we've had folks in the past who might have 2 or 3 different catalog titles, and they are like, do I need a separate website for each one? As long as the website is branded with all of your different titles, then it can qualify. So for example, if you have 2 different titles and you put both logos of those titles on a single website, then the USPS is liable to allow that to qualify. So you don't have to have a totally separate site as long as it's branded for both of those titles.
Fantastic. Well, I'm afraid that's all the time that we have for today. I hope you found this webinar not only interesting and informative, but ultimately helpful as you utilize the 2014 USPS postal promotions. If you have additional questions for Rob, please feel free to contact us, or you can post your questions to Rob on Facebook or LinkedIn. The links can be found on our website at www.dingley.com. Also, be sure to check out our catalogs blog and like us on Facebook to stay up to date. We'll be holding additional webinars throughout the year that you will be kept up to date on our website. Thank you all again for participating.